Kari Lake's petition filed with the Arizona Supreme Court to expedite her case has been granted. The court will give Hobbs' legal team until March 13th to respond and will hear arguments on March 21st to decide if they will proceed with hearing the case. Over the weekend, Kari Lake attended CPAC and was the keynote speaker at the Reagan dinner and also spoke to the audience the next and final day of the conference, ahead of Trump's speech. Former Trump attorney Jenna Ellis took to Twitter Saturday to say that Kari's keynote speech at the Reagan dinner was lackluster and cringe. Ellis was immediately admonished for her comments from a trove of Kari supporters on Twitter. "I find it strange that Jenna Ellis would take this position with Kari. I think this points to a larger issue in the Republican Party. There is a divide between the grassroots leg and the establishment leg of the party. Watch these clips of Kari Lake giving her keynote speech at the Reagan dinner."
They thought we would just, crawl away and maybe come back later and try it again. No, we're tired of doing that. We need a few fighters in this world, and they mess with the wrong fighter. And I know they messed with you guys too, and we're all fighters and we're in this together. So we're living in some pretty dangerous times, as we all know. Lee Zeldin is in the house tonight. That guy survived an assassination attempt, and the fake news doesn't even cover that. They don't even cover that. We are in that kind of times right now, the most dangerous of times, and we are in the midst of an epic battle, and it's brewing right now, but there is absolutely no group that I'd rather stand with in this foxhole than the people in this room at CPAC, truly. If you're an outspoken patriot right now, it's dangerous. You're losing business. How many of you lost a client or two, a friend or two? Maybe your family members kind of become estranged because of this. We're all going through it right now, and we all know how hard it is right now, but we are strong people, and we will get to the end here, and I believe we'll be victorious at the end. You know, the God placed us at this moment for a reason. I talked about my moment with God where he told me you're going to do something special someday. And I don't know what it is. It may still be to come. Who knows? But I know that putting me in the center of all of this with my fighting spirit, I believe that God is truly in control at this moment, and we win. I believe we win at the end of the day. He placed us here for a reason, right? He doesn't make accidents. He doesn't accidentally place us where we are. We are here for a reason, just the same as our founding fathers at that pivotal moment were placed where they were in 1776. Paul Revere, Sam Adams, Patrick Henry, and what we're facing right now is no different than what they faced back then. I know you're thinking, seriously, Kerry? No, but seriously. It was the globalists versus the colonists back then. And right now, it is the globalists versus we the people. And we're in that same battle right now. It's really plain to see that King George and his British monarchy were the original globalists, if you think about it, right? What they did in 1776 was the original Brexit, right? The globalists were trying to put their thumb on us, and the colonists said, no, not so quick, we're out of here. Is Nigel Farage here? By the way, I think that the colonists were the original Brexit. So sorry you did not invent that, but we appreciate what you're doing, Nigel, and you are one of us, and we love you. So we had no choice back in 1776. The tyrants in England had a stranglehold on the entire globe. They owned the global business market. They owned the banks. They owned the trading. They had the press in their back pocket. Does that sound similar to what we're going through right now? They had a bolstered military to back up every single thing they did. And so nobody dared cross them until a group of 56 men got so fed up. They said, all right, we'll give it a shot. Let's see what we can do here. And they did. I can relate to those 56 men more than ever today. Can you relate to those 56 men? They got so fed up. They got so fed up with what was going on. They are truly heroes, and that's how we remember them now, as heroes. But in reality, they were everyday men just like us. They were farmers and ranchers and merchants and craftsmen. There were doctors and lawyers in the mix. Many of them were actually boys, almost the age of my son, Leo, who's in college right now. And so as we gather tonight, to sound the very same alarm as those 56 brave men who sounded that alarm when they risked their life by signing their death warrant, which was the Declaration of Independence. When they put their pen to paper, to parchment, and signed their name, they didn't know if they would survive that. Some of them didn't. They freed us from that tyranny, but that tyranny is creeping back into our world again. It's creeping back, and it's starting to take control. Now, before his assassination, John F. Kennedy warned us about the dangers of our own government against we the people. He talked about, and these are his words, a ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert methods to expand power. Does this sound familiar, guys? He talked about infiltration instead of invasion. Those are his words. And intimidation instead of free choice. And then when he warned us of that, they called him a conspiracy theorist. And then the great Ronald Reagan, he warned us as well. They called him senile, and they tried to take him out as well. And Donald Trump not only warned us about it, he started to dismantle that entrenched globalist machine. And we all know what they did to him. That man was a bull in a china shop, and I miss that man so much. That's exactly what we need right now, a bull in a china shop. I don't even care about the mean tweets. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping he starts tweeting again. I can already hear it. Tomorrow morning, he says, I'm heading to CPAC. Everybody tune in for a great speech, right? I miss the bull in the china shop named Donald Trump. I miss the mean tweets. I miss strength right now. But no matter what the media pumps out right now, no matter what lies they pump out, no matter how bogus the investigations they heap on him, Donald Trump keeps on fighting. That's right. I talk to him all the time, and he goes, what choice do we have? What choice do we have? We have to keep on fighting. He knows the clock is ticking right now, and if we don't stand up and save America at this pivotal moment, there will be nothing left to save. That's where we are. There'll be nothing left to save. So the movement that he created is called Make America Great Again, and it is rooted in that very same spirit of 1976 or 1776. Actually, though, I was alive in 1976, and there was that spirit then. Who's old enough to remember the bicentennial? Remember that patriotism that brought us all together? And that's what Donald Trump tried to bring in with Make America Great Again. Bring people together under patriotism, that we don't look at our differences, we come together and we accomplish great things for our country, and that's what we need to do. Our nation's almost 250 years old right now, and during that time, America has been the driving force behind everything good, everything great. Each and every time that our country has faced any hardship, any turmoil, any disorder, any unrest, Americans have stepped up to the plate. And today we face an evil that operates within our own government. We see how they're turning our government on us. It's on the conservatives, unfortunately. We face an evil that owns the mainstream media, that controls our education system, that controls Hollywood. And we face an evil that seeks to strip us of our religious freedoms, our freedom of speech, our right to bear arms. They want to defund our police. I want to meet the fool who came up with that one, because I don't even think the Democrats want that. Who came up with defund the police? They want to brainwash our kids. They want to collapse our economy and eliminate the middle class with a wide open border that will destabilize America. It is currently destabilizing and weakening America. And they know that if they can break the nuclear family, if they can weaken the spirit of the American citizen, that they can usher in their new world order. Those are the three most frightening words I've ever heard, their new world order. But I'll tell you what, they made one fatal mistake. They messed with the wrong individuals. They underestimated us. They underestimated the men and women in America. And because here in America, we're modern day, maybe, but we still have that DNA from our founding fathers. We have that spirit of freedom. We're not motivated by global dominance. We are inspired by God Almighty. That's who inspires us. And we Americans refuse to be dragged back into globalism. Been there, done that, not going back. right? And like our founding fathers, we at this moment were made for the fight. We the people are the right people for this difficult time. I know a few fighters out there. I'm going to go to battle with Mercy and Matt and Abe and Steve and each and every one of you. You know, our forefathers, I think about how scared they must have been, because we've all had moments when we're feeling a little bit like, this is dicey. Are we going to get through it? Think how scared they were. They decided that they were going to go up against the biggest globalist the world's ever seen, King George. They said, we're not going to bow down to King George. And I don't know about you guys, but I'll be damned if I bow down to George Soros right now. I'll be damned. Abe Lincoln brought together a divided nation, and I will be damned if we let the radical left brainwash our kids, rewrite history, and tell our kids to judge people by the color of their skin. It's not going to happen on my watch. Our forefathers wrote the most beautiful document in history other than the Bible. They gave us rights endowed by God, and it is called the United States Constitution. And right now, those freedoms are in peril. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like, frankly, we're in America. Have you ever thought of that? You kind of go, is this the America that we grew up in? I call it, I was telling somebody, I said, sometimes I feel like I'm living on planet crazy and I want off. Did you ever feel that way? It's like, what's going on here? This is almost too weird. It just doesn't even feel real. We're living on planet crazy where we have Bill Gates and the CCP buying up our farmland right now. I'm from Iowa, okay? And I grew up in the 80s. Can you imagine, all of us who are my age or older, in the 80s under Ronald Reagan, that he would allow the USSR to come in and buy one blade of farmland, one blade of grass in Iowa or in the heartland? This is outrageous. We need to take that land back, and we need to not leave them with a single blade of grass. And I got a message for Joe Biden tonight. Joe, if you are not strong enough, and if you are not smart enough to sit Putin and Zelensky down at a table and broker a peace deal, then I've got a friend who can do just that. His name is Donald J. Trump. I don't know about you, but I believe that he can do it in 24 hours like he says. I totally believe that. Because you know why? He's got the experience. He has experience bringing peace to the world. He's done it before. It's not talk with Donald Trump. He's done it. He's got the actions to prove it. He destroyed ISIS. He brokered peace deals in the Middle East. He diffused the threat of a nuclear Korea. And he did that with a tweet, remember? Literally. I'm trying to remember. I think the tweet read something like, my button is bigger than his, and my button works. It's called peace through strength, right? It was a term coined by Ronald and perfected by Donald. And we need to do that again. Right now, I don't even know what Biden's philosophy is. Weakness through, I can't even come up with a slogan. It's just so pathetic and sad. But time and time again with President Donald J. Trump, when it seemed like the world was falling apart, he came in and brought it back together. He had these guys back there attacking him left and right. He had the swamp going after him, and he was still getting stuff done. And now we have stumbling, bumbling Joe Biden. All of the work that moms and dads did in Arizona, as we are on the forefront of education freedom. I don't know if you are aware of this. We brought you charter schools. We brought education freedom to this country in Arizona. We've done a great job. And we've gotten to the point in Arizona where we finally passed where we are actually funding the student and not the system. Amazing. It truly is amazing. It's a game changer. She's trying to dismantle that right now. The will of the people, the will of the parents, she's trying to dismantle that right now. This is why I continue to speak out no matter what people say. All of these problems that I just mentioned, whether they be domestic or whether they be on a global stage, can be easily solved with common sense, America First solutions. The American dream is at risk right now if we don't solve this problem. And I'll tell you what, this mama bear wants her babies to have the opportunity to live the American dream and not some globalist nightmare that they're trying to push on us right now. I don't want that for my kids, and that's why I'm fighting. And that's why I believe you're fighting as well. I know Matt and Mercy, we've had this conversation about our children's future. When you're pushing your kids out of the nest, you're not there yet, but I'm there. You're so worried about the world we're putting them out in, and that's why we have to keep fighting. Somebody said, why do you keep fighting? And I said, because I'm not willing to look in my children's faces and say, well, I had a great life. I enjoyed the American dream. Good luck with communism. Good luck with globalism. I'm not willing to say that to my children. That's where we got to stay in this fight. We're all in it together. We truly are. So I like to remind people, because sometimes it feels like we're so divided that there's nothing that can bring us together, but we truly are all Americans right now. And I know that many of us, everybody in this room, answers to the Creator and not the globalists. And as long as we're listening to what God is telling us to do, I do believe we're on a good track, and I think we're making some big progress. I see Mike Lindell going, he knows, he's working really hard out there. So I want to commend those badass alpha men 250 years ago who got this whole thing started. I'm pretty sure no one's ever called our founding fathers badass alpha men, but that's exactly what they were. We stand with our patriots, past and present, with George Washington. We stand with JFK, Ronald Reagan, Steve Bannon. We stand with Donald J. Trump. Time and time again throughout our history, the American patriot always steps up. We always step up when needed. We rise to the occasion. We fight for our God-given rights, and I truly believe we're at that time, and the time has come once again. And so I don't know about you. Are you guys in this fight with me? Are you willing to rise to the occasion right now? Okay, I don't see, this is the sad thing, none of the fake news is clapping. They're not with us on this one. We're going to have to do it without the news. We're going to have to do it together, because I know that even if we're not ready for this fight, the fight is coming. The fight is coming. Even if you say, oh, I don't want to do it, it's right here at our doorstep. And now is the time for a few American heroes to emerge and a few patriots to emerge. And I don't care if you are big and tall and strong. I don't care if you are 5'1" and weigh 100 pounds. It doesn't matter if you're a mama bear, a papa bear. It doesn't matter if you're a grandparent, a student. We know this country is worth fighting for, and we're going to fight for it right now. Hey, listen, I'm a fed up middle-aged mom, okay, of 2 children. And if someone like me, little old me, can jump into the mix and somehow make a difference, so can each and every one of us in this room. Each and every one of us. I'm just thinking of one of the funniest headlines I read on the campaign trail. I woke up and my team would send me some of the headlines. And one of them said, the most dangerous politician in America. I scrolled through it. I was expecting to see President Trump, and it was a picture of me. And the funny thing is, I was smiling. I was like, I don't look very dangerous, but I want these globalists to know, you're damn right we're dangerous. You're damn right we're dangerous. And it's not just me, it's all of us. And I'm not just the most dangerous politician in America when it comes to globalism. I'm the most dangerous politician in the world, because we're not letting these guys win. No way. So, I think that these globalists are worried. They're probably meeting in these dark rooms at big conference tables trying to figure out, how do we stop we the people back in America? How do we stop them? Somebody told me, I don't want to vote anymore because it's so rotten. That's exactly what they want, guys. They want us to throw our hands up and say, why would we vote again in this system? We got to go out and vote harder than ever before. We got to keep going out there and voting, and we have to stay involved. Absolutely. So it's going to take a lot. It's not going to be easy. They're going to slander us. They're going to write nasty articles about us. They're going to, attack us on social media. I've frankly gotten to the point when it comes to my inner circle of friends, if you haven't been attacked, had nasty articles written about you, if you haven't lost business, been canceled, had the left go after you in the most crazy way, then I don't even really want you to be my close friend. I just want strong people, right? That means this whole room could be my friend because we've all been there. So it's going to take everything we've got, but we do have to get together and do this, because when we do come together and say we're not going to stop fighting, we are truly unstoppable. We're truly unstoppable. And I know for a fact that I am up for the challenge. I am not giving up 1 inch. I'm not going to give them 1 damn inch in this fight. And I have a feeling that after this week at CPAC, with all of the patriots we've seen come on stage, we have that fire stirring in our belly. We have that DNA rising up in us, that founding father kind of patriot stuff, and we're ready to go out there and fight these people. I want to thank you, CPAC, for the opportunity tonight. And I want to thank each and every one of you who make the trek to come here. Each and every one of you for being willing to come into the swamp. I mean, honestly, come on, let's go back to Florida, Arizona. Don't make us come here, Matt, please. No, but I'm all kidding aside. It's actually good to see what they're doing here. And it's so good to be with you tonight. I want you to know I will never stop fighting. And I will never stop fighting for the people of Arizona and America. I love each and every one of you. God bless you, and thank you for the opportunity tonight.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this report from Thisway Network, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.